Come on in. I am Akilah. Welcome to Radical Selfie. Let me start with Angela Davis because she inspired Radical Selfie as a moniker that I've been using for at least a decade. She said this in a 1987 address, I believe at Spelman College, but she said radical simply means grasping things at the root. And it has been living with me. It has influenced my work. It has shaped my work even around liberation and unschooling, which is where some of you might know me from. But now it's also the thing that keeps bringing me back to my focus now around grief. And this channel is like the visual library component of the grief multiverse that I am part of. And I love this phrase, thank you, Angela Davis, because our roots influence us, and we cannot change our roots, nor do some of us want to, but we can look at what has been influencing us, our choices, how we feel about our bodies, our relationships, our work, our attention. And we can ask whether the things that influence us are still like bringing life to those things, our work, our relationships, our choices, our body, or they're not. When we don't understand what influences us, we undermine the importance of change. We undermine the relevance, the impact of change. And we underestimate the impact of loss, right? Change and loss, Octavia Butler, right? All that we touch, we change. It also changes us. And all loss is change, even the ones that we knew were going to happen. It doesn't matter how the loss happened, all loss is change. And loss that goes unnamed, untended to, doesn't just like go away because we're not thinking about it up here, easily accessible anymore. This loss becomes untended grief. And that untended grief is like a haunting. It follows us into spaces where we expected or hoped to leave our baggage behind. It follows us in our picker, like how we pick and choose people, jobs, all kinds of aspects of what we choose and how we choose. It impacts the way we keep delaying a decision or the way that we keep dragging a version of ourselves into our new experiences because we haven't done the work of releasing those aspects of who we have been. And this is where I Let It Die comes in. Eyelid, which stands for I Let It Die, is my grief tending practice for recognizing where a meaningful ending is still influencing how we live. And then it gives us something we can do to actually tend to that change, that loss. So this channel is the kind of visual center of that practice. So you're going to find an eyelid playlist where you'll see all of the ways that I am learning as a grief literacy educator out in the world, constantly in grief circles or working with clients around grief, hospice, volunteering. And this channel will just be me reporting live from Grieflandia, which is not always about sadness, believe it or not. What I Let Die, Wild Podcast, which is my grief literacy podcast. One season I'm done. That's here. I thought it was going to be multiple seasons, but the Eyelid Talk Show is coming up. More on that. So all of those things are what live here, in addition to my archives, my unschooling focused life, Fear of the Free Child, which is the podcast I did for almost a decade that changed my life and connected me to so many beautiful people. So if you're new here, I want you to start with the I Let It Die playlist. That's the one that I keep most current. The Savor Complex playlist is also where I really tend to in this practice of slowing down to recognize the impact of change, that also can change our entire shit in terms of how we live and where grief and joy connect, which is another dear to me intersection. And there's a whole project around that with my sister and Thea Monnier called Bringing Flowers. All of that will live here in addition to all my accents and just really trying to be myself as a grief tender here on this channel. So welcome, subscribe, like the videos if they resonate for you, and talk to me in the comments. Welcome to the Akilah verse. Out here, we tend to endings.